The emergence of the modern Indian working woman is the result of a tough churning of thought processes and socio-economic factors over the past few generations. But the journey from the home to the workplace is not always very smooth. Apart from social stigma, working women are coping with a lot more.
They said कि मम्मी क्या बात करते हो, आप तो बूढ़ी हो चुकी हैं, आपको कौन लाइन मारेगा, you know?
तो जाते-जाते हाथ मार गए, टच कर गए.
It's a very common thing. It does happen in life. Probably not here if you're walking down on the street or anywhere.
In my 16 years of practice, let me tell you this, it is not that the harassment do not take place in the courts, they do not take place in the lawyers' chambers, no, they do.
अभी भी कुछ ऐसे डिपार्टमेंट हैं हमारे ऑफिस में जहाँ 3-4 बजे के करीब लोग शराब पी के बैठे होते हैं, बाहर से शराब पी आएंगे, वहाँ बैठेंगे. तो लेडीज़ डरती भी हैं उनके साथ बैठना, लेकिन उनकी मजबूरी है कि काम करना है. वो शराब पी के हो सकता है कुछ ना कोई बोलते होंगे, लेकिन डर के मारे लेडीज़ बोल नहीं पाती.
Silence on the part of women has always been catalytic in the perpetuation of such offensive behavior by men at workplaces. In 1988, when Rupan Deol Bajaj took umbrage at a slap on the bottom by KPS Gill at an official gathering, the issue of outraging the modesty of women was highlighted.
The whole trouble arose because in the IPC, there are sections which prescribe punishment for outraging of modesty, section 354, and also provide punishment for insult to modesty of a woman. But nowhere has the punishment has been prescribed, but nowhere has the term modesty been defined.
It took her years to establish in the courtrooms that an offence relating to the modesty of a woman can never be trivial. And for the first time, modesty got defined in the law books and her case became a precedent.
You've handed down a conviction. You've not handed down a judgment which will satisfy the demands of justice. All you've done is you've handed down a conviction.
I want that whenever people say, and they will say, that this is what happened to Mrs. Rupan Deol Bajaj publicly, I want that every time they say that, because that can't be prevented, that will be said. Saath mein they should say, and then this is what happened to Mr. KPS Gill.
This is perhaps what every single woman wants who goes through such negative sexual experiences. But the mindset of a patriarchal society is such that we are taught to take such unwelcome sexual transgressions as part and parcel of natural behavior, unless and until it culminates in molestation or rape. It was only in the context of village Sathin Bhavari Devi's rape case that the judicial system examined the issue of sexual harassment from a new perspective.
When we examined it, we thought in the very first place it violates the right to equality guaranteed broadly under Article 14, gender equality particularly guaranteed in Article 15, then Article 21, right to life with dignity. And in addition, the sexual harassment at workplace interferes also and violates the women's right to work.
The Supreme Court actually recognized that whatever happened to this Sathin, this village woman, a change agent, before she was actually gang raped, was also a violation of her rights. And it was even a bigger violation. It was compounded by the fact that when she complained to the legal authorities about the sexual harassment, which she didn't know what to call it at the time, they just said, we'll wait till something serious happens. And something serious did. She was gang raped.
In a landmark judgment known as Vishakha versus the state of Rajasthan on the 13th of August 1997, the Supreme Court equated women's right to work in a place free from sexual harassment with basic human rights and laid down guidelines which clearly define that any physical contact or advance, or a demand or request for physical favors, or a sexually colored remark, or showing pornography, or any unwelcome physical, verbal or non-verbal conduct of a sexual nature will amount to the offence of sexual harassment.
I feel the Vishakha judgment has been singularly historic in the sense that for the first time sexual harassment became a cognizable offence.
The Supreme Court judgment has come as a boon
to the women activists as well as to the trade union women leaders especially, because now you don't have...
Anupama, an ex-employee of the Hindustan Times.
Well, I don't know whether I should be talking about it, but the strap of my bra was showing a bit. It was, I mean, it was not deliberate. And it could be ignored. At least I would expect most bosses to ignore it. But he said things like, I would like to see the whole of it. And I was shell shocked. I said nothing, I left the room. So this is something, this is too lewd. And in my case, he made these suggestions so very often, and I was not the only person. He did it to so many girls.
Sangeeta Sharma, an advocate of the Andhra Pradesh High Court, in her affidavit says, I, B. Sangeeta, am committing suicide because of D. Vijay Kumar, advocate, who harassed me in all possible lecherous ways, luring me by offering the position of AGP, Assistant Government Pleader, if I agreed to make sexual relations with him. He has harassed me in such a way that I have no option except to commit suicide. My property is legally entitled to my son. This case requires a CBI inquiry. Whatever I stated above is true. This is not sensationalism. Sexual harassment of women at workplaces is a reality. We have to admit that it happens. Unfortunately, for some, it is not an issue.
It was something so petty, so meaningless, so shall we say, so mean in its very conception.
Women harassment is not really an issue. It is blown out of proportion.
जनरल इंप्रेशन मेरा ये है कि गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स में नहीं होता ऐसा. कभी आप भी देखते होंगे, हजारों में क्या लाखों में एक होता होगा.
But facts depict a different picture. 47% of working women admitted to having experienced sexual harassment at workplaces, 23% of which blamed their colleagues, 20% blamed their bosses and supervisors, and 4% blamed outsiders. The most reported form of sexual harassment turned out to be verbal. Raising a voice against sexual harassment is an excruciating decision for women because of the social consequences.
If she were to voice it, maybe her husband or her family itself may not be very happy that she's making a big thing out of this. ऐसा तो होता ही रहता है समाज में, you know. She must learn to take it.
उनकी हिम्मत जगाने वाले लोग भी कम होते हैं. ये कहने वाले बहुत होते हैं कि इस बात को दबा जाओ, छुपा जाओ, तुम्हारी बेइज्जती होगी. क्योंकि अजीब एटीट्यूड है हमारे समाज का कि अगर जिसके साथ दुर्व्यवहार हुआ है तो वो उसकी गलती मानी जाती है, उसको शर्मिंदा होना पड़ता है कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ, जबकि होना इसका उल्टा चाहिए.
How difficult it is for a woman to come forward and say what she has to say, because no one likes to talk about sexual harassment, not even the victim, and it takes a lot of courage to do that. And when she does it and when she is branded after that, that is.
मेरी ये देखिए क्या हालत की है, मेरे बारे में ये क्या क्या वर्डिंग्स लिखी गई हैं, इतना गंद लिखा हुआ है कि देखते ही तुम लोगों को शर्म आए.
I feel quite humiliated. I feel कि इतना भी गंदा पोजीशन, इतना हेल्पलेस कोई हो सकता है. It's really a pathetic thing, you know. Like even though you are qualified, you can work, you are at par with men, but still, you know, they want that you should be physically also exploited.
It was miserable working in Hindustan Times because while it was painful, because while a victim was not allowed to work, at the same time I could see the man who had harassed me was happily allowed to work, and simply because he was very well connected.
My father, my husband, my brother, they gave me full support. But they can sympathize, they can empathize, they can give me moral support, but in the final analysis, I have to suffer it.
Today's women seem to be prepared for a backlash. Mekhla is one such case. She has learned to eat alone, work alone, live alone. She has designed her little support system to fight everyday battles at the workplace. It's a piece of paper, neatly typed and properly placed on her table, constantly reminding her, don't quit. Alleged perpetrators, who should be made to quit the organization, are still enjoying positions of power, refusing to even acknowledge that anything happened. This leaves the victim annoyed. The only relief to victims in such cases is immediate action against and stringent punishment of the perpetrator.
इस तरह के केसेस में एक बार भी कोई बहुत सख्त एक्शन लिया जाए कि कोई आदमी है जिसको कि आप नौकरी से निकाल दिया जाए, उसके ये तो वो जो ह्यूमिलेशन है वो वापस नहीं आ सकता, कभी भी वापस नहीं आ सकता है। वो जो बेइज्जती होती है उसका तो कोई कंपनसेशन कभी हो ही नहीं सकता है। लेकिन एटलीस्ट जिस आदमी ने किया है, अगर उसको ये एहसास हो ना कि वो अब वो बिल्कुल सड़क पे खड़ा हुआ है, उसके कोई कुछ करने वाला, उसको कुछ मिलने वाला नहीं है, उसका सोशल बाइकआउट होगा, उसके लिए आगे नौकरी के दरवाजे बंद हो जाएंगे, तो मुझे लगता है वो भी एक तरह से बहुत बड़ा मॉरल बूस्टर हो।
Social security as a basic human right for working women is an issue that can no longer be ignored. Incorporating corrective measures to deal with issues of sexual harassment is going to take time, but we cannot wait and watch the statistics grow further. The solution lies in an overall change in the outlook of society. We have to stop looking at it as a women's issue. The whole endeavor should be directed towards the common goal of creating a safe work environment. We have to think in terms of attitudinal change, which involves each one of us.
It has been indicated that it is everyone's responsibility. It is the duty of every citizen also. You see, for example, a citizen who is a private citizen who doesn't wield any public power also, he also is obliged by virtue of one of the fundamental duties in Article 51A to see that due respect for the women is maintained, that dignity is maintained, and therefore if anything happens to affect their dignity adversely, it is his duty.
No doubt sexual harassment is an age-old practice, but now we have a legal tool to fight this social malaise.
ये तो बहुत बड़ी जीत है। जो आदमी कहते थे कि हम इस ऑफिस के राजा हैं, हमें कोई हिला नहीं सकता, हमें कोई टच नहीं कर सकता, आज उनकी ये हालत है कि वो ऑफिस के बाउंड्री से बाहर ही रहेंगे, अंदर नहीं आ सकते। तो हमारी बहुत बड़ी जीत है ये।
I will not allow any boss to take advantage of my situation. I feel I am a good professional, I am a good worker, and I have to be respected for that. Nobody can take advantage of my womanhood. I will not allow it. No woman should allow it, ideally.